welcome to Flosstube number 22. I'm Jo, Stitchy Cat Lady. Got to remember I don't need to say the 26 any longer because I've changed the channel name ever so slightly, but I am still Stitchy Cat Lady 26 on Instagram. This should be a fairly short video because basically that's all I've got to show you. I've worked on 2 whips this month. Just a few days on one and the rest of the month on the other. So I will give you all the details when I come to them. I've got very little haul to show you. Okay, so should we get started with whips? First one is Spider's Queen. I'll pop a photo of the planned finished object when we get up there. So I just spent 7 days working on this in this area, just starting to get a bit of the spider. So the red stitches are spider. I only worked on this for 7 days at the beginning of the month, but I still managed to get 1,453 stitches in. So just working in this general area. So a few weeks ago I put up a very short piece, I think it's all of 39 seconds, just showing the insane confetti in some parts of this. So it was 7 stitches, 6 colours, and there was this tiny little dot here, a green jewel and 1 black stitch. So if you wanted to go back and have a look at that, it's literally the video before this one. 7 stitches, 6 colours. So that was fun. As you can see, we're back in the front room this week. So Snowdrop has decided to come and say hello. Can you say hello? She does get dirty eyes because she's got a few little allergies, but she lets us clean them pretty well. She's sort of settling down to sleep here. Right, the other piece I've worked on was Joan Elliott's Fairy of the Rainbow. Sorry, Spider's Queen is Little Fairy Art charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's on 20 count aida. My other piece is Fairy of the Rainbow by Joan Elliott. This was her contribution to the 2019 Pole Stitches retreat. I'll show you that again in a minute. So I've decided that I can get this finished by Christmas if I get my bum in gear. So since I've last seen you, I've been working on this bottom area, and I literally have this bit here to do to finish all the stitching, and I have been working on back stitch as I go. So she is beautiful. And you literally have this bit to go. And I need to finish the back stitch on the top bit and the wings because I didn't do that as I've gone. So that may come back to bite me. But yeah, it's looking good for at least getting all the crosses done by Christmas. So since the 7th of November, when I started working on her again this time, I've done just over 5,000 stitches. So I'm quite proud of that. There have been a couple of days that I didn't get any stitches done at all. There were a couple of days that I was working late. I was just tired when I got home. So that's your whips. That's all we've got for whips, I'm afraid. Okay, so haul. As you know, I get the Jodyri monthly fabric and thread clubs. I get the bright dark range of colours, and November's for this year was called November Rain. It looks like it was originally produced in 2017. So it was just kind of mauvey grey. 28 count Brittney. that's the size and cut I requested. The threads are, I'm on to the antique threads. So these, I've already had all the regular range and all the tie-dye, so onto the antique. At the moment there's only 30 of these. These are numbers 1 to 20, 10 to 20, so I have 1 month left to go with these, so that will be this month, so hopefully they'll arrive before Christmas, but if not, that's fine. So yeah, some beauties in here, gorgeous purple. They do just look a little bit duskier than the standard range, so yeah, that's where the antique bit comes in, I think. But yeah, they're gorgeous. You may remember I have stitched a Mill Hill Centre. It was the ice cap centre, I believe. I will need to check that, but I will put a photo in. So I've been trying to figure out what I want to do to finish it. So I decided I'd go and get some self-adhesive red felt. It just seemed like the best way to do it, especially if you want to make it into an ornament. So I got 2 because I do have other centres to stitch as well. That's all apart from my advent calendar. So I did put a short reel and a couple of photos on my Instagram. I will put those in here as well. So this is the bag that the Jodyri Threads Advent Calendar for 2022 came in. I'd kind of forgotten that I'd ordered it, so that was a nice surprise. So yeah, so I opened it, tipped the bag up, and there's just lots of brown paper bags in there. And I'm being good, I'm only opening 1 a day. So I will just quickly show you the ones I've had so far. I've got no intention of doing a video a day for this. I don't have time, don't have the energy. But I will be doing photos, so I'll put a post up on Instagram for a couple of days, and I may well do another video in a couple of weeks, just see how we go. So this is the first, I think it's pronounced Lachesis. It's showing up a bit more yellow in the camera than it actually is, but it's basically peaches. I am going to put them back in the bag as I go, because I'm mostly do that. Day 2 is Shades of Green, and that is called Tropical Palms. So Thread Advent 2022 exclusive colour. Again, a little bit more yellow. It's a bit more muted than that, but yeah, that's pretty. Tell you what I'll do. I actually have some white paper that I use for the photos, so maybe that will change the colouring. Not so you'd notice. So that's Lachesis, day 2. Day 3 is Blues. This is exclusive to the Advent, and it's called Urania. Those blues into mauves, and that's pretty true. And finally, for now, day 4, because it is after all the 4th of December. This does say it was a previous limited colour. It's called Fall Trees, and it's basically peach into lemon into like a taupe. So again, that's pretty true. that's the advent calendar so far. I'm actually really enjoying doing that. It's something a little bit different. Yeah, I look forward to getting up and opening the next one every day. Right, told you there wasn't much. 2 whips, a little bit of haul, not very much. I do have a couple of finishes. Boris the Bat. Okay, Boris the Bat. I was using him as the prize for a fundraiser to raise a little bit of money for the shelter. So thank you to everybody who donated or shared or both. I ended up raising £85, which will cover a spay, a microchip and a little bit of food. So, you know, it's still worth doing. Not as much as in previous years, but it's still worth doing, and everybody's situation is more difficult now than it was even a year ago. The winner of the draw was Jen, Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole. So I did it on a tiny decision wheel, so I'll just pop a picture up there showing Jen as the winner. And he has been received. So that's all good. I had the perfect size box to fit him in, so that was excellent. I do also have some little video clips to show the construction going from the finished stitched article to the fridge magnet, so I'll pop that in here.
No.
Okay, so that probably took up about 30 seconds, if that. So next I would like to introduce you to a former resident at the shelter by the name of Tofu. Now Tofu came in a bit of a state. He has allergies, and his reaction to the allergies is his skin itches, so he scratches it, so it gets open wounds, and yeah, it's all a bit of a mess, or at least it used to be. It was backwards and forwards to the vet. It was decided that he couldn't be rehomed because they just don't rehome cats with major medical issues. He was made a staff cat. He didn't like being kept in, he wanted to be out and about, and there's at least once that I found him in the road next to the shelter in the absolute pouring rain. As I was on my way home, so I basically stopped the car, got out, picked him up, put him back into the compound. But more than once as well, they got reports from the van hire place next door about people stopping because of this cat in the middle of the road, because he'd just sit in the middle of the road, completely unconcerned, had no fear. So then it was decided that he would have to stay indoors and be taken out on harness and lead. I did that with him a couple of times, and do you know what, he was good as gold. He was brilliant putting the harness on, he was brilliant walking, and you could give him his head a little bit, but the idea was to stop him going out on the road. So he was back and forth to the vets, trying all sorts of different treatments to try and get his skin reactions under control, and ultimately the vets basically said, well, look, can we keep him? So Tofu is now a vet cat. In this last week, Tofu has started an Instagram account. It's called Tofu the Vet Cat. I will put my name on and a link below. So there's some lovely photos of him. There's one not so nice. I will put a few up. There's one photo that's not so nice, sort of when he was partway through treatment. But he's got such a lovely, lovely personality. He's such a snuggle bug. He just wants to be with people. I've seen him on Emily's lap getting his ears cleaned, because his ears used to get horribly dirty. Just lying on his back on Emily's lap while she cleaned his ears for like 10-15 minutes at a time. It needed to be done, but he was perfectly happy to lie there and let it happen. He just loved the pampering. For tried that with this madam, I'd lose my fingers. So yeah, Tofu became practice cat, and this week he started his they've started his Instagram account, which they've decided to use as a way to raise some money for the shelter. So there is a link to Just Giving page. They're only asking for £500, which, you know, wouldn't even come near covering the vet fees for the month, but, you know, £500, £500, and every little helps. So I would love it, and so would Tofu, if you popped along and had a look and maybe made a donation or shared, or, you know, whatever you can do to help out. I know it's a big ask for anybody, especially at this time of year, but even if you just share, you don't know who it can get around to. So yeah, he's a lovely little boy. It's just a shame the vet is so far from us, because it's difficult to get up there just to go and visit him. I do miss seeing him at the shelter. He's just such a loving, affectionate little boy. He's ace. He really is ace. So yeah, that's Tofu. Couple of shout outs. Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, has had 2 events. She's had a birthday, so happy birthday, Amber. And she has reached 1,000 subs on her YouTube channel. So that is Rogue Mama Stitcher. And go along and give her a look, say hi. I promise you won't regret it. Crafty Road Gamer Georgie has also had a birthday, so happy birthday, Georgie. Morti is doing Vlogmas. David has done his own advent calendar for her, so there's odd little bits so far. She's had glue sticks, stick-on snowmen, little, and a variegated purple thread. We don't know what they've had today yet. The video may not be available until tomorrow, but we'll see. So yeah, Morti's doing Vlogmas. I haven't really been watching much else. I'm addicted to the stuff about Scientology at the moment. There's a lot going on in America with Scientology. It looks like their time might be limited. It looks like their tax exempt status is maybe questioned. There's court cases on the go, criminal and civil. I'm just fascinated by the whole thing. It fascinates me in the same way that things like aircraft investigation fascinates me. Things like the true crime investigation video programs and dramas and stuff like that. It's not the event that interests me so much as the investigation, the what's caused it, how people have worked out what's happened, but also the human factors involved in the lead up to the event. And this is the thing with Scientology for me. They and you know, cults in general, Waco, Jonestown, Charles Manson. What is it about some people that attracts other people to join them, to come and to commit themselves to a certain way of life, even though it could be very violent and criminal, like with Charles Manson. So yeah, I'm a bit like that with Scientology. It's like, what is it about this religion that attracts the people it attracts? There's not a huge membership, but it has some of the biggest celebrities going. Tom Cruise is a Scientologist. John Travolta is a Scientologist. It was the brainchild of a science fiction author, L. Ron Hubbard. So for me, it's like, do people really think this is true? It was made up by a writer, a fiction writer, and yet they just accept that this whole thing is true. Why? What in their psyche makes them think like that? What in their psyche makes them think that Scientology can help them? And in the early stages, I think Scientology possibly can help, but it's, I don't know. I think it tells people it wants to help them and that it can help them, and people who feel like they can't get help elsewhere, have tried other things, fall for it, but it costs a lot of money. So I don't know. It just fascinates me how people can fall for this sort of thing. I mean, they must get something out of it in the beginning, because they wouldn't just keep going back if they didn't feel like they were getting something out of it. Who knows? So yeah, I'm watching the developments on that. The YouTube channels I've been watching mostly are Grown Up in Scientology, and I've recently started On the Edge with Andrew Gold. So yeah, we'll keep tabs on what's going on with that. Plans. I'm not in work for a couple of weeks because the boss is in the country from Iceland, so she's in the shop for a couple of weeks. So unless I get a message saying, can you cover a particular day, I won't be in until the 21st. So up to this point, that hasn't meant that I've been getting any more stitching done. I always seem to find other things to do. Monday I'm at the dentist. Wednesday it's COVID jabs. So Monday after the dentist I'll probably be, just sleeping off, because I find that's the best way for me to cope with the aftermath of the injections. But my big plan is to get at least all the stitching finished on Iris, Fairy of the Rainbow. I would like to get the beads done as well, but I'm not making that hard and fast thing. I want to get all the stitching done. Beads will follow as and when. I still haven't done all the beads on the peacock, so they need doing. So if I can get those done, that will be 5 finishes this year, not counting smalls. Be 5 big finishes on pieces that have been hanging around. And when she's done, I think it'll be Supernatural and Crystallised that I'm going to concentrate on. But we'll see. I have time and decision wheel for that as well, which does actually include the beads on the peacock, is an option. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Christmas Day, lunch at my mum's. It's also my birthday, so yeah, I'm hoping to, well, I know I'm going to have some hold because half the stuff I bought from Paul Stitches has been given to my mother, and I'll get that back at Christmas. So that's everything from me and Snow, who is purring away quite happily. From us, I will see you next time. I may do a short video to show a bit more of the advent calendar in a couple of weeks. I'm also expecting parcel from America from Mo Sale, which will be the 12 Days of Christmas set that she does. If it's like last year's, then it'll be thread, fabric, patterns, a mixture of stuff, but also everything that I've ordered all year. So we'll, I have had notification that it's been sent, so we'll just see how quickly it gets here. I know another item that I posted the same day I posted Boris to Joan has not got there yet. and that was signed for, so we'll just have to wait and see. Is there anything else? No, is there anything else? She's not talking to me. Right, I shall say goodbye. Look after yourselves. If I don't speak to you beforehand, have the best Christmas you can. Please don't stress over it. At the end of the day, it's a Sunday dinner. Or it's beans on toast, if that's what takes your fancy. You know, it's Christmas Day, it's one day. Do your best to enjoy it. And I will catch you next time. Bye.